Anita, if you don't already have a dinner reservation this weekend, you're probably out of luck. Final Exercises at the University of Virginia has many food and hospitality spots booked up. The Charlottesville Albemarle Convention and Visitors Bureau says you should expect increased traffic too right around the university as thousands of out-of-towners come to Central Virginia for their graduates.
Say maybe expand your options a little bit, look out in Albemarle County. So maybe consider places around Crozet, or maybe even head south to Scottsville, and maybe you'll find some options there. But I know that things here right within the immediate downtown area, West Main, University of Virginia, are going to be pretty tough.
And though it may be a busy weekend, the Charlottesville Albemarle Convention and Visitors Bureau says it is a great time for the local economy as all those out-of-towners give it some extra business.